Once again, it's on. Good afternoon, and welcome to the best of 757 Community Talk Show. How y'all doing today? Yeah, I'm feeling great, and I'm hoping that you're feeling the same. It's time for that. Get into some what's going on in the community, what's going on in your neighborhood. Yeah, because a lot going on in the world, and we've been blessed to be in the land of where prosperity and safety may not be as is more more to our advantage than other areas, but yet we got to try to isolate the gun violence in our communities in the 757. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm your host, of course, Captain85, and I hope you can hit that share button and invite some people over to the program. You know, I'll just put this up for a brief moment. This is the best of the 757 Community Talk Show in conjunction with Vaughn Digital Media, WVDM. So I want y'all to go ahead and come on in the room, come on in the house, and see what kind of conversation we can have today. If we could have a conversation and share some information. But today I'm going to start off with a few things. If y'all indulge me for a brief moment. Uh, so let me try to set up some things without interfering with what I'm doing. But like I said, welcome to the show. If you got some comments and you'd like to be part of the conversation, all you got to do is hit something in the comment section and you can be a part of the program. That's what it's all about. Sharing is caring. And I believe if we share more information, but that we can help. Start off with let me turn that mic on. Program. That's what it's all about. Sharing is caring. When your phone start getting old, you're thinking that it's supposed to work the way it's supposed to. It don't, because they want you to get a new one. You hit a button and it keeps on going every which way but loose. But nevertheless, we're going to do our best to bring you information. So how's everybody doing? I hope everybody is well. But like I said before, we're trying to bring information to people so that we can try to find some resolution to all the violence with our youth, the bullying that's going on. Every day you turn on the news, it's like it's doubling up. My concern has always been about the community and our future generation. That right there, that's what I strive for. I've been doing it all my life, most of my life, working in the community, engaging with young people, with my own children, children in the community, my friends, my son friends in the community. We all try to create activities and things that make them feel safe and comfortable, regardless of what race or creed or color they were. Has nothing to do with race or color. God said we supposed to love one another. And way the world is going today, it doesn't seem like it's going that way. But we're going to continue to strive and work hard and diligently in bringing information to those that like to talk and share. Try to bring more information so that we can communicate better and share things. One of the things I want to talk about is WVDM. That's the radio station. And we're working hard to try to get that out to the public so that they can have a format and a platform that they can advertise on 24 hours a day. We got special rates, special packages. And to bring, if you're an entrepreneur, you got services that you want to advertise, we can do that, and we do it at a reasonable rate because we're not like the big boys. We don't have to charge you large sums of money or like the internet itself, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. If you want to advertise with them, you can get a small segment. But what I try to do is uh, bring you together with different activities that I do, different campaigns that I run, and I know how to get your information out there to the public. And that's what I try to do and get people to understand about advertising. I've been doing advertising for over 50 years. And, there's a price for advertising. There's a price for letting people know what you do in your community, what you're trying to accomplish. There's a price. So don't get it twisted that the radio station is doing you a favor. The radio station's in business to make money. And they have to make a lot of money because their overhead is very, very expensive. If you don't believe me, go call one of the radio stations and tell them that you want to buy a package, one of their packages, and you'll see how much it costs. But you got to understand is they got a sales staff, they got a production staff, they got DJs that's on the radio that's got to be paid. It's a lot of money to own and operate a mortal station, brick and mortar, station. Same thing with radio. It's the same thing with newspapers, same thing with television. All these things require a budget. And what I try to do, because I've been successful in marketing and advertising, is to try to do a rate that is feasible for those that want to advertise, especially on the World Wide Web. You think you're just going to put something on the World Wide Web and somebody's going to notice it. No, don't work that way. It might seem that it does. That's why TikTok is so popular, because they got different gimmicks they use to get you to spend money. And besides, they can sell you prices for stuff that they probably got billions of items and it's just sitting there. So they can discount it. You're selling it. You can make a piece of, make money. It's the same thing with anything you do. It's the factory that requires you to spend money to get things made. But in today's world, you can buy directly from factories or third-party people and get it at a discount. And you can kind of mark it up. But by the time shipping and it's a lot of paperwork. Don't get it twisted. Nobody's getting rich. Everybody's telling you, "Oh, I done made $1 million." Well, if you made $1 million, why you still on the internet? Why don't you do what most millionaires do? Go have a seat somewhere and we see you on the beach. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. And if anybody's done any type of marketing on the internet, any sales will tell you it doesn't work that way. I like to be honest. How I made money or how I market and produce stuff, because I be honest with people. I'll tell you what I can afford to do for you for a reasonable price. We can start at this level and move up to the next level. And that's how it works. And if I'm not successful, I don't want your money. I only take people money when I'm being successful. If I'm not being successful, I don't want your money. And I'd rather for you get your service somewhere else, because if they're doing it, then they can do it better than me. I'm no man is an island. I've been selling this since I was a child. So everything that I do is test marketing, research, and evaluate what you're going to go to school and pay for. I already been to school and pay for it. So when I go get a job, most of the time that's selling stuff, you have a criteria you go by, but to tell me how to sell, you can't make me a salesperson. That I have to have within me. And to sell to the public, it's called a personality. That's why you have radio jocks to come into your businesses. You're paying for their personality. You're not just paying because he's on a radio station. The radio station has the right personalities. That's what you're paying for. I done did radio. I done sold advertising for radio. And like I tell people, ever since I've been in there over 50 years, I wrote all my radio commercials. No radio station ever wrote my copies. It's called copy. No, nobody's ever wrote my copy. Because why do I need for you to write something that I can do myself? I'm gonna pay you extra. No, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, I don't voice my commercials because I don't even like my own voice. That's why even when I come up here, and talk, I have to calm myself down. I can't get hyper uh, because sometimes that's unprofessional. And while you're trying to dialogue and try to create communications with the public and with the people that you hope that will start tuning in. Do I have a lot of numbers when I go on live? No. Do I have more numbers when I'm recording and putting out videos? Yes, very much so. I'm just going to go back to start, besides this talk show, I will start back doing, lives like 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, or 5 minutes at the most, because you got to know beginning, middle, and end. So it's like a level that you have to create to get the audience attention. And you don't want to be overbearing, because a lot of time, a lot of fluff, they call it, you're just talking about nonsense. And when you're talking to the human person, they'll tune you out. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. So what I try to do is make it plain and simple. Make it so that people understand that we all need help in what we're trying to do and trying to accomplish. We can't do it by alone. I'm just repeating what's in scripture. No man is an island unto himself. And that means that whatever you're trying to do, there's always someone human or in the spiritual world that's helping you along. We're spiritual creatures. God didn't make it so that we could work alone. We have to depend on each other. And when we work together, we can accomplish more. And like I said, this is my page on Facebook, and it's called Henderson Vaughn. That's my full legal name, Henderson Vaughn. And you'll see right there in the corner, I don't know if you see the arrow pointing, but right by Henderson, there's a blue star. That means that it's controlled by Facebook. I can't put anything up there that Facebook don't like, because they will take me down. They will block me. And I don't like to be blocked. So what I try to do and instill in people, whatever you're trying to learn about marketing and advertising, and you're talking to radio stations today, I don't even know what the rates are. Television, I don't know what the rates are. But I can guarantee you, it's not, you sometimes can't afford it unless you got a budget put aside. And if you've been in business for over 5 years, then you might be able to afford some type of marketing on TV or radio. But if not, you still got Facebook. And remember this, Facebook has got over 4 or 5 billion people on it every day. Any type of social media platform got millions of people. So if you don't get the right algorithms, you're not going to reach them. You're not going to reach them. And to build a platform where you can get the people to know where you are and who you are, you have to do work. And it's a lot of work. Like I tell people, you have to have a team of people that's going to work together if you're trying to accomplish a goal. When I was in a club and ran nightclubs, and I tell people, I hire staff. I vet the staff. And if it's people that I don't know, I'll give them an opportunity to make a living, because my reputation is on the line. Theirs is not. See, most people don't understand, when I was managing or DJing in a club, that's my reputation. My reputation saying I can entertain your audience, or I can get your audience that will come to your establishment. And These are people that come to support me. As long as I'm here and I'm doing what they know I normally do when I manage or DJ, making sure the environment is nice, making sure there's safety, because the number one thing in any nightclub business is safety. That is the most important thing when in a nightclub, safety. Because when you open those doors and people come in, no matter what race, creed, or color, once they step 15 to 20 feet into that building, they can be with somebody or by themselves. But after they step to that bar and they meet their friends, Jack Daniel, Hennessy, rum, Grey Goose, Belvedere, whatever their choice of beverage, that is an altering drug, because that's what alcohol is. It's a drug, and everybody uses different types of drugs. You got sociable drugs like marijuana now. Cocaine ain't so. I mean, it's a drug, but it's not a social drug because they ain't licensed people to sell it. So all these things you need to know when operating an establishment, because that's what I do. I learn a lot of information to make sure that I can keep my customers or the establishment customers happy, because everybody's just looking to have a good time. I know people go through a lot of things. There's a lot of mental health issues today that we never seen before. Mental health is stress. Stress is a mental health issue. 1 minute the person can be laughing, and the next minute they got 1,000 frowns in their face. And you never know when a person get angry what's on their mind. They can look at you and don't like you because you got on the wrong color. They can look at you and you might be in a conversation and you're talking too loud or you're laughing too loud. There's so many things today that can set people off. Our young people is under mental health conditions. If you don't recognize it, you just think they acting out. Well, they just acting out. They're young people. Well, they ain't acting out if they got a gun. Where did they get the gun from? They didn't draw it and make it. They didn't manufacture it. But all the things that we come in contact with, our young people come in contact with guns, gun violence, and all that is a element that affects everybody. And we have to come up with ways to talk to them and educate them and let them know that violence is not the answer. And that's what I try to do with the things that I work on. That's what I try to do. So what I do is to make sure that I can bring you information that can help you. I just changed the banner down there to let you know that I have a young lady. If you are organization and you're trying to start a nonprofit 501c, and throughout this program, I will be bringing that information up. If you need somebody to write you a grant, whatever you're trying to do, this young lady can get it done for you and help you get it done if you want her services. And I'll give you a little bit of her background and information so you can give her a call. And hopefully that she can help you with whatever you're trying to do. If she can do that, then that's good for everybody, especially if you're trying to create a nonprofit organization and find a way to get some assistance in what you're trying to accomplish. We all are in the game to try to help the next generation. Until we get to understand that, then we will lose a generation to gun violence, mental health issues, because bullying is a serious problem. It is no joke. And we have to address it in every way we can before another child continues to lose his life, continue to fall to the wayside because we neglected to see the things that there was going on. And that's our job as parents, as aunts and uncles. What, these things address so many things that we go through that we got to stay on top of it. And Phyllis is a young lady that can help you if you're trying to start a 501c. She can address any problem that comes up and her number is 757-977-7634. That number again is 757-977-7634. Give her a call. She can help you with whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to create a website, she's been doing this for over 20 years. Her name is Phyllis. She's a grant writer. She can help you get your 501c3. And that's something that can be helpful if you're trying to do a nonprofit. Because if you don't have the right papers and going to companies or corporations or writing people in a business and saying, I'm trying to do this, first thing they're going to ask you, are you a 501c tax exempt? So that's why I am, constantly bringing information so that it can help you out and so that you can be aware of what's going on. And like I said before, if you got an Apple products, this is the app for your Apple cell phone. If you scan that code, that will take you directly to the Apple store and you can download it right now. So if you're on your cell phone or on your computer, just scan that code. It takes you straight to the Apple App Store and you can download it and you can listen to the radio station 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. I go live every day, Monday through Fridays from 3 to 5 with frequency distribution, where I play a variety of hip hop, R&B, pop, Latin, reggae, because I don't feel like the internet is too big now to just be bouncing all over the place. Whatever mood you might be in, I hope during that 2 hours from 3 to 5 that I'm playing something that makes you reminisce. And that's what old school music is. It makes you reminisce of when you was in college, high school, or junior high, and even elementary. That's what old school music does for you. It makes you think about all the people you met. If you was in the military, you was in different states, stationed, or in different countries, So it gives you an opportunity to take a closer look at yourself and what the things that you have accomplished and the things you want to continue to try to help the community. Some of the music I'll be playing today, because this is today, Tuesday, New Music Day. And this is Will Smith' new EP. Yeah, he's out. I'm telling you, you know Will Smith, and he's laying it down. It's based on a true story. That's the title of this EP. Download it. I'll be playing 2 songs from the album. One, to me, is he has some rap with like a gospel flavor to it. And I'll be playing one during the gospel hour and one doing from 3 to 5 today on WVDM. Whenever you see the link, when I send it out on Facebook, you can click on that link or you can download the app and have it with you 24 hours a day. And I hope I can get some support, because not only that, I'm trying to support the local artists and try to keep it reasonable for them to play, to go in the recording studio and make some good feel music, some positive music. You have two versions of a song when you play it. You have the clean version and you have the explicit version, which means you got not suitable for young people. That's what that means. That's what it means. That label is not suitable for anybody under 12 and sometimes 16. But you can't tell people nothing today. Everybody's going to do their thing. And what I try to do is educate people that are local, that the music I play has got to fit the parameters that I got to be within. Now, what you put on YouTube, what you do with all these other platforms, that's on them. I ain't trying to get banned. I ain't trying to get blocked. I ain't trying to do nothing. All I'm trying to do is I got a license. You got a license to drive a car. And that's why people go to jail. That's why people wind up losing their license or do something illegal with the vehicle, because the vehicle don't belong to you, it belongs to the state. That's why you have it registered. You just making the payment. You have the luxury to take it home as long as you're making payments. And if you don't, then the bank comes to get it. So either way, it don't belong to you. You got rules that you got to follow. I try to follow all rules. I don't care what rule it is. I'm going to try to follow it. Facebook got rules. So what I have to do, I have to follow the rules that Facebook have. So if I don't, then Facebook will block me. And they tried to do it several times. Y'all don't even know what I go through. I have to watch what I put on my Facebook page. If I'm sharing something from another page, just because I found it interesting, or I think they're on the right track, that we need to communicate that information, Facebook will block me. Facebook will block me. So that's why you see all the tech people was at Donald Trump inauguration. After President Obama was the first person to use the internet when it came to a campaign. They saw how successful it was with President Obama. That's when Donald Trump run. That's when he started to be on Facebook. You didn't see Donald Trump on Facebook before then. You see him up there now. But he was banned. Then he got mad. Then Tesla come on and said, well, they can't ban you from me. Well, they really could have if they wanted to, because he's operating with an FCC rules and regulation. But for what reason they didn't. So the internet, I don't care what you make on this planet, the government controls it. The government controls everything that you see, everything that you hear. Don't get it twisted. But some things have gone a little bit out of hand. That's why our kids are going to jail. That's why our kids are killing one another, because it seems like it's more important to please the people that own it. Why do you think they're banning TikTok? You thinking they banning TikTok for what reason? Because they're stealing your information. Everybody's stealing your information. If not, why don't you ask yourself, how is all these people getting into your email account when you ain't never been on their page? Then the guy that owned Facebook, then he break into the college computers, and that's how he started Facebook. Oh, y'all don't remember that, or you didn't know? He ain't in jail. But let us put something on Facebook he don't like and watch them block you, put you in Facebook prison. All you have to do is play by the rules. If we play by the rules, we'll win. If we play by the rules, we'll win. They made the rules. We just got to play by them. All we have to do is work together. All we have to do is support one another's business. Like they banning Black history. So what? You can't ban something that's in a bookstore. That's what you did when you went into Africa. Now, why don't you understand? They playing by their rule book. They've been playing it all their lives. They banned something, and you think, oh, that's just something they just started. No. When they stole your history, they know who you are. They know who we are. Why do you think they didn't want us to read books? Why do you didn't think us, if we saw a book and saw a book with pictures in it, that wait a minute, hold up. That looks like my Uncle George. That's my Uncle George. What you looking at? What you talking about? That's my Uncle George in this book. You got a book? What you doing with a book? Oh, no. See, you don't understand this. They're not actually banning stuff. They're just telling you they're banning it because if you go to college, then you have to go to the library on the university. Everything's got a person that's got a doctorate degree, people that do research. Then you'll get the real truth. Well, closely the real truth. So they don't want you learning nothing while you're in middle school or high school. And not in community college, only when you go to a university. When you go to a university, Norfolk State, Hampton University, Old Dominion University, then you're getting the real deal. You're getting the real deal. But what we have to do is, if we are, they talking about all the tariffs they're going to run and operate. Don't you know anything that somebody put more expense that you can't afford? What you should do is, why are you trying to buy it? Why are you spending more than you can afford to get in debt? Give you a credit card. Wrong answer. You in debt. Next thing you know, you ain't got to use a credit card. You just got to be in your possession. And you'll wind up owing the banks millions of dollars in interest, even if you're not using it. You're like, well, I don't know about that. Never heard of it. Okay. Don't use it. Don't use it. Just pay the bill off and see what happens. If you don't pay that bill every month completely out, then see what happens. See how long it takes before your credit limit is cut or you're over your limit. And you're only trying to pay that bill off, and it turns into interest. You got us a game they play. And the game is for us. But when we're talking, we don't want to listen because we already got all the answers. We already got the answers. If you can afford it, then do it. I ain't telling you not to spend money. I'm not telling you to not take that trip. I'm not telling you not to buy a Tesla car with tariffs going way up. Even after you buy the car, if the tariffs down, he done put tariffs on the auto parts. Most of them coming from out of the country. Well, we're going to get the auto dealerships to come back to the United States. Well, why did you let them leave? Why did you let them leave? But now you're going to make them come back. Everybody's trying to grab the bag. As they said in the old school, you've been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. You've been run amok. And as Malcolm X said, we didn't come here on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. You have to understand who you are and who child you are, who you belong to. There's so much stuff we don't know. And the stuff we do know, we take for granted. We are always trying to do our best. As we continue with, let me continue with, letting you know the type of music is out. I just showed you the cover of Will Smith. Here is the new sound that's going around town. Tune in from 3 to 5 and you'll hear Biddy May. Biddy Mason, Biddy Mason. Southern Soul. It's brand new. For all the young ladies that follow the Southern Soul music that's going around now. You know, everybody's doing my main man here is jumping off the chart. He's all over the place. I'm talking about Keith Broham. Keith Broham with My Stetson. I put it on Facebook, you know, hey, Keith, I was playing that back in the late 70s and 80s, you know, the Stetson, you know, so like I said, you know, everything that's old is now coming back new, especially with us in the Black community. Back then, only a few of us might wore a cowboy hat, you know, mostly people like in New York and Texas and places in, you know, South, you know, was wearing it. In the Western people, you know. So what we do is we come Johnny come lately, but we still embrace new things. Another new artist that you may not have heard of, this young lady right here. And I'll be playing that today as well. And that one's entitled Unstoppable Black Queen. That's China Styles. China Styles. It's a good song. Should make all our Black queens proud. So you need to download it, start playing it, listen to it. But like I said, from 3 to 5, I'll be playing it on WVDM, right along with Will Smith, Keith Broham. And I hope you tune in if you can. And if not, you know, you can listen 24 hours a day. And you can download the app to your cell phone if you got Apple products. And that'll help me out a great deal to start building this brand right here, WVDM. This is the app right here. You can scan this app and, you know, and download it to your phone right now. If you're watching on your phone, you can, you know, scan it later. You can scan it with your phone and download it. And it will help me build this station and play the type of music that is positive, the type of music for young ladies and young men. You know, I can't tell you that that I don't play negative music. I try to find, but most music have some type of negative content, but I don't go for the B words and bashing our people. You know, we can do everything in reason on WVDM. It's about sharing and caring. And when that comes along, that's what I try to do. Like I said, you can always go to my Facebook page. This is my page, Henderson Vaughn, with my Dreammaker outfit on, you know, and you know, I just want you to know that just trying to do something positive for our young people. Let them know that we care and we love them and we appreciate them, because they're just looking for love and they're looking for it in the wrong way and in the wrong places. I try to explain to my kids when they were growing up, and my wife was particularly explaining it to the boys, that sex is not love. Sex is not love. When you have sex, it feels good. So we identify sex with love because it makes us feel good. You know, we want more and more and more. It's an aphrodisiac, if I said it right. It makes us feel good. Sex is for reproduction of the human being. Because if you do it without protection, you're creating a human being that you are responsible for, men. You are responsible for, young ladies. And this is when child abuse come into play. This is when young people feel lost because where's my dad? Where's my mom? Where's the person I look like? And that begins down a dark road. Because if you're going to have sex and unprotected sex, you should be responsible for your actions. You should be responsible for whatever actions that come with having unprotected sex. Not only having a child out of wedlock, but also you can harm your body if one or the other partner have any type of disease, sexual transmitted disease. It comes from having sex. So it's a lot, you know. As I was brought up, my mom would tell me, everything that looked good to you may not be good for you. And mostly I listened to what my mother told me. And as I got older and started dating young ladies, of course, I did have 2 children out of wedlock. But I love my kids. But one thing, they know who I was. I took care of them. And I try to be there for them whenever they need me. But I'm never try to deny a child with a lady that I might been sexually involved with. Because we all fall short of grace. And I'm not going to sit up here and say, hey, I'm a holy and thou. I was brought up in the church. I was in church more as if you saw me in the nightclub. I was that much in church as I was growing up. I used to sing in the choir, you know, but I'm shy. So when I'm singing, I have a very deep voice and a very loud voice. And even today, if, you know, when I'm at my home church, if I, you know, feel like singing or belting a song out, I am louder than the organ. And the organists always make me know that by playing the organ louder than to try to drown me out. But like I keep telling people, that's what God gave me. Don't get mad with me, you know. But like I said, I try not to talk about things that I can do, accomplish, because it's not about bragging. It's about showing young people that we all have gifts and talents. If you do the right thing, you may not get rich, but people will know and respect the fact that you have the ability to accomplish things. I try to accomplish everything that I start out. And you say, well, you must be rich then. No, I probably could have been, but I used to have this soft spot when I was working or developing things. I always try to look out for the little man. Now the little man won't look out for me, but in God's time, that's all I remember. I don't point fingers at people. I don't try not to ask people for money, because as long as I'm capable of breathing, I try to work and do things to raise money, because that's what I went to school for. I went to school to do broadcasting. So I hopefully that someday that I'm thinking about starting a GoFund, because I need the money to develop and to move this radio station forward. And for those DJs, I mean, for people that are performing and making music, I try not to charge you. If you go to other services, they do. And most of them are charging you anywhere from, say, $25 to $100 to play a song. What I try to do, if you tell me about your music, I'll listen and I go buy it. Because how can I support you if I don't spend no money with you? So every song I buy and play, I pay for it. I have the right to play it. I have the right to play it on my radio format because I'm licensed with the company that pays the licensing fees for the radio station. So what I try to do is accomplish goals to make sure that young people can afford to have their music played. And I try not to, people say, well, I'll pay you to do this. Nah, nah. Because see, once I do that, then you'll get an attitude because you think your song should be played every hour. It's a format. That's why radio stations, they have a format. They will ask you to send in some music. They might take an hour or maybe two and play your music. But there's a lot of ways for that too. It's just a lot. But what I try to do is to help young people critique their music. And I've been successful at doing things because that's my gift that God gave me. I can tell you if you got a hit, and I ain't got to do but listen for 2 or 3 seconds. I could tell you where your song is going. Because most of the people I put their music up here and they don't know it. They ain't just pitching pennies now. There's a method to the madness. So when people don't know the right way, the right formula, they don't know how hard it is to get a song played. They don't know there's millions, billions of songs on the internet. That's why it's called programming. So if you put a song in rotation, where is it going to come up in the rotation slot? And if you don't know how that works, then call the radio station, see what they tell you. Everything is a system. You got to stop playing checkers and start to learn to play chess. Everything you see is developed from the chess game. Everything you see, every game, every sports thing you see really came from chess. The moves you have to make, the position you have to play on the fields. It's the same thing as playing chess. You have to play your position. And if you don't win. You don't win. So when I'm trying to position people to support this brand, WVDM, so that you have an opportunity to get your music listened to, then you'll be more accessible to be success. Maybe you just want to make a song and you just say, hey, I'm not trying to get rich. I just want to, sharpen my skills. But at some point, somebody you have to work it out so that you'll be able to get your music played in the right place. That's what WVDM is about. And like I said, I'm playing this young man here. His name's Stanley Ray. Stanley Ray Jr. His new CD is coming out. This is the copy of the CD that's his single song. He got one called Call Him Up, and he got this song. It's called I'm a New Creature. I'm a New Creature. I think that's the title of the EP when it comes out in a couple of more days or weeks. But you can hear his music from 5 until 6 on the Let's Get Praise Music Ministry with the voice of inspiration. So I'm playing a lot of music and a lot of local people music that I play so that they will know that it's not just about me. If we work together, and come together, we can do a lot in helping the community to be successful. And everybody may not be successful. Don't get it wrong. But when you're trying to do the right thing, it's important to know the more you do, the better you get. So, like I said before, this lady right here, the number that you see, making sure that it's being shown. Her name is Phyllis. That's her number running down there. And if you are trying to start a business, you need to check her out. If you're trying to get grants, you need to talk to Phyllis. Her number again is running on the screen, 757-977-7634. Make sure you give her a call. If you're trying to start a nonprofit 501c, call Phyllis today, 757-977-7634. And let her know you heard it right here on the Let's Get Praise Music Ministry, Frequency Distribution, and the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And she will give you a discount. If you need somebody to write a grant, she can do it. The number is down there below, running across the screen. That's her name, and her telephone number is 757-977-7634. Call her, get that information. And if you need paperwork done, if you need a website done, she can put you in the right position. If you're a startup business, she can assist you in whatever you need to get done. Her name is Phyllis. Like I said, I try to do advertising and marketing at a reasonable rate so that people can know your brand. On here, on the radio station, all you got to do is call 757-7634. That's 757-630-9745. 757-634-9745. And we can work out a great package for you as well. Like I said, is mentioning that to Phyllis that you heard it right here on the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And I hope you tune in to WVDM from 3 until 5 and from 5 until 6 with the Let's Get Praise Music Ministry with the voice of inspiration. If I have a voice left during that time, I'm getting hoarse, so I'm going to go and drink some tea and lemon so I don't lose my voice, so I'll be able to do my show today. But like I said, it's all about sharing is caring. I want you to know that I appreciate everybody that go to my Facebook page and you listen to my videos, read some of my comments. This is my Facebook page. When you see this with the blue star, Henderson Vaughn, with the blue star, with the Dream Maker hat on, and the words that say note, you'll know that you're on the right page. And look across the screen. And if you want to join any of my pages, or if you're in Facebook Messenger, I'm in Facebook Messenger, and you can text me in Facebook Messenger if you want to hear a song, if you want to request information about advertising. All you got to do is text me, leave a number, and we will have somebody to reach out to you. Or if you got a request, if I'm on, I will see it on my monitor, and I will try to play your music. Or if you want to send a shout out to somebody, send me a video, record it in Messenger, send it to me. I'll play it over the air. You can say your name. If you got a business, give the name and number. Now, I ain't going to play it but 1 or 2 times now because that's free, just to let you know what it sounds like and what it feels like so that you can know that it's all about sharing and caring. It's all about sharing and caring. If we can work together, we can solve a lot of problems in our community. And like I said before, it's not just about me. It's about YouTube. It's not just about what I do. I do it because I believe that's what my spirit tells me, that I have to do it. I will put up later some of the things that I've done and accomplished over the years, because it's history. Some of the awards I got, and normally I don't really talk about the awards, but throughout the month of March, I will let you know about the awards that I have, and I will explain to you when I do the talk show. And I will put it on Facebook as well. If you see it on Facebook, you like it. And by the way, when you look at Facebook, throw some thumbs up and some hearts and something, because that helps the algorithms of that Facebook page. So it helps build the audience and help it to grow. This next week, on the April, this is April, not April Fool's Day, but April, this is April Fool's Day, and there's no April Fool. The reason why I put it up there, because I am being presented an award in the Alabama Alabama Blues Hall of Fame, and that's coming up. That's coming up this week. There you go. That's going to be coming up April the 13th, which I will be in the building for that to receive the induction of being a DJ that's been playing blues. I grew up with blues. My father used to play the guitar when we was 4 and 5 as children, and that's how, that's why I love music so much, because I just love music. I love all genres of music. As a DJ, I done played all genres of music in different clubs, and I've been successful. One of the people that's been successful to do that and to create a movement in the 757 throughout VA and through other states and countries. I was blessed. So what I try to do to show young people the awards that I got, the accolades, so that I let them know, because I was in a special education class, and I don't not ashamed to say it, I didn't put myself in there. That's the way the system is set up, to put young black men in special education class and women, so that it keeps you at a certain level of education. And that is known to be the pipeline to prison. If your child is doing bad in school, you don't want him to do bad in school if he's in the 3rd grade, because that's when all these things start happening that gets them in trouble. The bullying and not paying attention to the teacher. And you got some wonderful teachers out there. Mad shout out to the teachers that slay. I thank you for allowing me to be on your Facebook page. And as things that I'm working on that I will announce real soon in the weeks and months to come. But I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and please share this information. And don't forget to call Phyllis if you're trying to get your 501c started. If you're trying to get a grant written, Phyllis is the lady. Join me at 3 to 5 on WVDM on the Facebook, on a Messenger. And if you haven't, go to my Facebook page, go to this page and listen and tune in. And I appreciate that, because the more you support me, the better I can get the job done. To the next time we meet and the next time we greet, that'll be today from 3 to 6. Bye-bye, y'all.